Even though the members of BTS have released multiple songs that are completely in English, the famous trilogy of English songs is the one that made them go from a group known for their large fan base to the mainstream act that they are today. Sure, the fandom is still the most important and valuable part of BTS's success, but now we get to listen to their songs in commercials, award shows,
the MTV Movie and TV Awards and the Unscripted Awards,
festivals, radio, competition shows, sport events, TV shows,
to the tune of Dynamite, BTS. You ready?
Of course, Dynamite.
Here we go.
I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt.
and videos by random famous people.
Rolling on like a rolling stone.
Iced tea and a game of ping pong.
Watch me bring the fire, set the night light.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got the medicine.
So you should keep your eyes on the ball.
So I'ma light it up like dynamite.
They like the point. The BTS point,
These songs are the disco pop track Dynamite, the catchy summer song Butter, and the hopeful Permission to Dance. But what about their previous songs in English? These other songs are either intros, outros, singles where only one of them participate, singles where only a couple of them participate, or solo projects. So the reason why these are the big three is because these are the only songs that are promoted singles where the 7 members participate. But why did they do it? Was it really necessary for them to release songs in English? Is it fair to say that they are releasing these songs just for money and fame while ignoring their Korean roots? The easy answer for some people may be yes, but I think that is a baseless and unfair answer. But let's start from the beginning. If you follow BTS, you may know that they never had the intention to release a song in English.
Will we produce the whole album in English?
Yeah.
That's the question?
And at that moment, it made sense. They were just starting to find their way on the US music industry as a serious act, and not just as an unusual phenomenon. Of course, like any other artist, they wanted to become more popular. But their strategy to achieve this was through live performances, and they prioritized their involvement in the songwriting and producing process. They even prepared the massive project On, which was the main single of the long-awaited album Map of the Soul 7, which did not only include a music video, but also a Kinetic Manifesto film and a special performance on the Grand Central Terminal in New York. And who knows what else they prepared for this song, because the pandemic started canceling every single show planned. The lockdown, of course, changed everything. Before, they were able to prioritize these other things, and they were highly motivated to talk about the different topics that are usually present on BTS's songs: youth, sadness, happiness, society, psychology. And meeting and interacting with fans while performing was their biggest motivation. But since they were not able to meet their fans anymore, that motivation was gone. Everything I just said is not new to fans. These are just the things they had said multiple times on interviews and keep on saying now. So why did they release this trilogy of songs in English that are not mainly written or produced by them, and that don't carry any heavy, complex meaning like their previous songs? Their answer is pretty simple. They say it's because we are in a worldwide pandemic and we want happy and carefree songs to forget. And the easiest way to communicate this to everyone is with a song in English. This answer, even though reasonable and logical, may still leave some skeptics thinking that they are just sellouts and that they took the easiest way to success in America. But then, why didn't they do this in 2017 when they were first invited to an American award show? Or in 2018 when they realized that Americans and radio and TV don't welcome songs that are not in English? Or when they started collaborating with Western artists? Or at the beginning of 2020 when they released their biggest project On, they are still singing in Korean. This is when you realize that what they're saying is true. They never took the easy way out. They prioritized their involvement in the creation of their music and performance, even if this means that their growth in popularity is going to be slower. And it was obvious the general public wanted carefree songs on these difficult times. Every popular song in 2020 was either carefree or meaningless. The world needed songs like this. I want to highlight that it's not like they suddenly decided to only release songs in English. After Dynamite is still in the middle of the pandemic, they released B, an album that focuses on the journey of their emotions during lockdown.
어떻게 삶을 이런 상황에서 저희가 어떻게 삶을 유지하고 있는지 그런.
For this album, we literally channeled our thoughts and emotions of the past few months into music.
They also released a couple of Japanese songs, 2 of which were promoted singles in Japan, and various other unpromoted solo songs. Their most recent project was a collaboration with the British band Coldplay, and it's a meaningful song with Korean lyrics written by the members. But BTS haters just ignore these projects. They pretend like BTS decided to not be Korean anymore, just because of these 3 songs. But I want to go even further and talk about why some K-pop fans resent BTS's decision to start releasing songs in English. I just mentioned that also in 2020, they released Japanese songs. This is not uncommon for Korean groups, and certainly not uncommon for BTS. It is logical that these groups release songs in Japanese, because Japan is the second biggest music market in the world, and Korean groups have been doing this for years. For K-pop fans, this was never a problem, and they never accused these groups of losing their Korean roots for singing in Japanese, even if this is not their idol's native language. To them, these rules, of course, do not apply to BTS, a Korean group targeting not only the second biggest music market, but also the biggest music market, America. And I know that is another conversation, but I do believe that people that think like this are K-pop fans who want their groups to be in a bubble. They want to feel different for listening to something that is in a different language. Korean, Japanese, it doesn't matter to them, as long as they sound Asian enough and don't become mainstream in Western countries. They can feel special. Other K-pop groups have also released songs in English, but again, it was never a problem because none of these were actually successful. Only this trilogy of songs are a problem because the general public who are not into K-pop are now listening to BTS. The general public or non-BTS fans started listening to these songs on radio, commercials on TV, and YouTube. But of course, these days, TikTok influences what the general public listens to. And at first, I didn't realize how much of an important role TikTok had on the success of these songs. And this is because TikTok ARMY and TikTok K-pop fans are not very welcoming of locals or non-fans using BTS songs, which is ridiculous but also another topic. But just so you can understand the difference, one artist that has multiple TikTok hits is Doja Cat. And this is because a lot of people use her music not only on trends but also as background music for videos that have no specific topic, and the comment on these videos are about the specific TikTok that you are watching, and that can be a dance, a recipe, a funny video, or a fan edit about another artist. This, however, does not happen a lot on TikTok that use BTS's music. Instead, we see a bunch of comments asking the creator of the video if they are ARMY, thanking them for using the song, or demanding the creator of the video to not use a BTS sound or to not do a BTS dance if they are not a fan. And these are the kind of comments that can discourage a person who's not a fan to use a BTS sound on TikTok. Therefore, it is very hard for BTS and also for K-pop singers in general to have a truly TikTok hit. Despite this, the general public kept using BTS songs on TikTok, and I in particular didn't realize this until a friend of mine who is not a fan and who is not on ARMY TikTok told me that she kept listening to these songs on her side of TikTok. So apparently BTS overcame this curse in some way, and this helped them to an extent on music charts, which are now a list of TikTok hits. But now we have the criticism on the simplicity of the lyrics and production. And to that I ask, why are BTS the only ones held to such high standards? You accept carefree songs by other Western artists. And these are only 3 songs of BTS's entire discography, which includes more than 400 songs. Also, it's not like this trilogy of songs is completely meaningless and boring and bad. Dynamite is a disco pop song that talks about being happy and lighting up your life. It's about making regular days happier. I also find it interesting how it's full of American references that I had to look up their meanings because English is my second language, so it may look like basic lyrics for Americans, but for the rest of the world, it can be really cool to find about these references. Butter is the perfect summer song. I would say that the majority of popular songs now are about showing off, and Butter is kind of like that. They are basically saying that they are the coolest, hottest, and smoothest guys of the summer, and the fact that they released a remix with the hot girl summer Megan Thee Stallion makes it even better. Finally, Permission to Dance is a whole hopeful song that talks about the pandemic. Many misunderstand PTD and say that it's about celebrating the end of the pandemic, but if you read the lyrics closely, you will notice that it's about being happy despite living in a pandemic. They are basically saying, yes, the night is still cold, but we can still dream about that moment. And even though there are restrictions for a lot of things, at least we don't need permission to dance. These are all fun songs that carry a message of hope and positivity.
In the past few years, we learned that each and every moment is precious.
Everything I just said are basically the reasons why these 3 BTS songs are their biggest ones today, and why they were right to release them now. It was a good decision. It was the right move. They were not only lucky that TikTok was around, but also they started releasing songs in English because they genuinely felt like it was the best time. They didn't do it with the whole purpose of becoming more popular in the Western music industry, or they would have done it years ago when they first had the opportunity. We cannot ignore the reason why these songs are so big in America, and it's because no matter how amazing BTS's lyrics are in Korean, the American general public is not going to pay attention. Life Goes On had a total of 6 spins on US radio. Black Swan had 2. Basically, BTS can never win to them. They sing in Korean, they are rejected because of their language. They sing in English, they are accused of being sellouts. So instead of judging BTS for being unable to write and sing complicated English lyrics, appreciate the effort they put on their English releases. They practice a lot to get the pronunciation right, and they prioritize happiness and positivity, which was always part of their message.